A data breach is any breach that really affects the confidentiality, the integrity, or even the availability of data. If you become aware within your organisation, in your capacity as a data controller, that there has been a data breach falling under one of those three headings: confidentiality, integrity of the data, or availability of the data, and that personal data within your organisation has been affected under one of those three headings, you may potentially be looking at a data breach situation. The GDPR sets out strict guidelines in terms of notification to the supervisory authority if there's a concern around a data breach within your organisation. You, as the data controller, have only 72 hours within the point at which you become aware that a data breach has occurred, where you have to evaluate if and when you're going to notify your supervisory authority. If you're not going to notify, you need to maintain records as to why you are going to notify. If you are going to notify, they expect a prompt notification. And in fact, the notification must be so prompt that the legislation actually allows for a tiered or a phased type of notification to your supervisory authority, because they appreciate the timelines are so tight that you may in fact have to notify the initial breach and then gather information and come back with some sort of a secondary notification. And of course, you also need to be considering if you need to notify the affected data subjects themselves, if, for example, there's some sort of remediation action that they could be taking, such as changing passwords, things like that, to protect the personal data that has been the subject of the data breach. Here at Le Mans Solicitors, we encourage clients to act proactively in all spheres, but particularly around data protection. The best way to avoid an issue with our DPC is to have some sort of GDPR compliance program already in place. It's really not that complicated. It's thinking about the couple of issues that can arise from a GDPR perspective, particularly on things like a data breach notification, planning in advance how you're going to manage those types of issues, communicating those plans out to relevant staff members, and if and when such an issue arises, making sure that you follow your plan such that if an investigation occurs at a later date from the DPC's office, you're able to document and retrospectively manage and demonstrate how you complied and applied your internal data protection policies.